Hi there, I'm Katy-Rose. If you're new, hi. If you're not new, remember me? It has been a while. I think my last vlog was September 2021 and it is February of 2025 as I record this. Yeah, it's been a while and there's quite a lot that's changed. I think I've recorded a returning vlog like this 3 or 4 times over the last couple of years, and then they've never made it to, well, be honest, to the editing program. But I've been having the desire to come back. It has been a while since I was last filming, last on YouTube. So I think it was September 2021. I last did a vlog, and yeah, a lot has changed since then. The, I suppose, key things are that I am living in a flat with 2 house rabbits. Their names are Bramble, he is the lionhead lop, so he's the one with all the fur around his neck, and Hawthorn is a dwarf lop, and they are bonded. They were rescues. We're not quite sure if they're brother and sister or if they've been bonded as what they call husband and bunwife. But either way, they are not from the same litter due to their age. But they have been living here nearly 2 years. I think I did record a lot of vlogs when I first got them of the getting the bunnies process, that then I never did anything with. Still have the footage on my laptop, but I don't necessarily plan to. It would take a lot of editing, I think, to get all the episodes down into one thing, because I took a lot of smaller videos to try and piece something together that then I never did any piecing of. So yeah, I'm living in a flat with 2 house rabbits who just under a chair over there. And I guess I wanted to start making videos again, and I watch a lot of vlogs and a lot of, I suppose, different topics, different kind of niches on YouTube myself, but still noticing that there is, I suppose, a space for what I want to say. There's a few things that I suppose I would want to comment on. I've started to work on season 2 of my podcast. I have started the beginning of season 2 many times on the podcast, which is still not live. Season 2 is not yet out. But I am further than I have ever been before, in that I do have some episodes recorded and even edited a couple of them. But I don't want to just put out 1 or 2 episodes and then not have some, not have a routine and consistency with that. Because I did manage 56 weekly episodes for 56 weeks in a row without fail. And I would like to at least have a couple of episodes, be a couple of episodes ahead of where things release, which is why nothing is released despite having some closer to finished episodes. 2025, it's interesting so far. Got a lot of plans for this year, and I think New Year is always such a reflective time for me. I really feel that we are pulled out of our natural cycle, where the new beginnings really comes in spring, which for us in the Northern Hemisphere is around the 21st, 20th of March. And in the old calendar system, so the Julian calendar rather than the Gregorian, New Year's Day was actually like the 24th of March equivalent. And even in the Pagan New Year, so as someone who follows Druidry myself, which is an earth tradition, our New Year is Halloween is the death of the old year, and the next day is the beginning of the new year. So November 1st, again, in the Northern Hemisphere, we have November 1st as our kind of new year, I suppose. But again, the expectations of New Year are not to suddenly start a new habit and go to the gym on November 1st. I feel like certainly my interpretation and my experience, how I experience the New Year, the Pagan New Year, is about rest. There is not an expectation on November 1st to go out and do something different. The expectation is that we reflect, that we pause, that we take stock, that we consider all of the plans we might have, all of the things we might like to do. But equally, there is no expectation of action because it's winter. And winter in nature is not a time to necessarily start a big new growth cycle. You know, anything we start should start with planning, should start with understanding what we want and what that looks like and what that might need, and planning that in. So even if you feel that winter is the beginning of the new year, I feel that, for me at least, winter is not the time I go out and do something different. Winter is the time that I make plans and I consider things and I think and I decide what I'm going to do and where I'm going to be putting my focus for the next year, the next cycle. And then when spring comes and the light returns and energy returns and there's growth all around in the trees and the animals and things, that's when my instinctive growth wants to happen. You know, that is, for me at least, that is sort of my new year, new me aspect, where I look at all the things I would like to do differently or the things I would like to work towards, which I've then again spent winter preparing for and considering and reflecting, exploring, so that I know what it is I'm doing when that spring energy comes along. And I say all that knowing that it is the middle of February and I'm like, I'm coming back. But I have spent the last couple of months thinking about this, working out how this would work, what it is I'd like, how much I want to share of which aspects of my life I want to share, and really trying to make sense of what my vision is for this channel and for my community. And I suppose for me, I always think of myself as someone who merges that spiritual with that scientific. I am that practical dreamer. I have those two aspects to me. They come naturally to me, that I merge what I want with what I know I can create. So when I'm thinking about what I would like and how I would like it to look and how I would like things to be, I try to approach it from those two levels, or I guess even three levels. So we would have, this is what neuroscience and psychology, my degrees basically in neuroscience and psychology have taught me. This is what I have experienced spiritually and would like to, attract, manifest. I have a faith based around the earth traditions. I do believe in nature as having its own sense of power. And then I have human experience as my third sort of piece of it, It's science, spirit, and self, I suppose. It is that I am a human being living in England in 2025, and I have bills to pay and I have the everyday modern experience, while also wanting to connect with nature's cycles, the seasons, and do all of that from a place that makes sense, that feels natural, I suppose. Doesn't feel too hard, but also doesn't feel like I'm not growing and not building, as it were. So yeah, this is just a little reintroduction where I will figure out how much of my ring tapping this mug gets picked up in the microphone. I'm not expecting anything to be perfect. I'm not expecting myself to come out with the videos I would love to produce. I'm not expecting that. But actually what I would like to do is to start showing up here again and to start building community here again. And I hope that you will gain something through these videos as well. If you enjoyed, please do consider giving it a like. If you want to know more and want to follow this journey with me, this sort of slightly rooted reinvention, for lack of a better word, hit subscribe and pop a comment below saying how you find this time of year. So whether it's summer for you in the southern hemisphere or winter in the northern hemisphere, whether it's New Year for you or not, how do you find sort of this, I want to say like the experience of the new year? How does that show up for you and what sort of things does that bring? So I would love to learn how others experience it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.